got lots of treasures and they're all right up
The
there.
lady at the travel center said I need to go by these
What did
stores
you
in
decide to talk
downtown
about?
and put
You asked me to
stuff
talk
down,
about
chips
church.
in their windows
If-
because they're
Yeah,
having some
if
big
you
event
wanted
this
to.
weekend.
I didn't mean you have to.
No,
Okay.
Did she come in with a baseball bat and threaten you?
no, she never. No, it's just,
Are we on?
Oh, yes, we are on.
Are we?
Yes.
people better get with it.
Welcome to What's New. And we have some ladies still getting their stuff out. So ours, if you want to introduce our guest.
Okay. You want to talk first, Bob?
Charlie Winslow.
Charlie? I knew I'd get names screwed up again.
I'm Charlie Winslow from Celine Lodge number 226 down in St. Mary, Missouri. You gonna introduce everyone else, or
Okay.
just have me go with it?
No, you can go with your program. If you-
Well, I came down here this evening hoping to promote our Masonic fundraiser for Camp Hope over in Farmington, Missouri. My name is Charlie Winslow. I'm the master of local Masonic Lodge, St. Mary's, Celine number 226. By drawing attention to this event in Camp Hope, I'm trying to raise money for them because it's such an extraordinary place, but it's a non-for-profit organization with no administration fees whatsoever. Even the man that owns the place holds a 40-hour-a-week job. No one there draws a wage. 100% of the money that you raise goes directly to supporting the troops at his camp. Their website is www.camphopeusa.org if you'd like to know more about that.
Don't you?
Pardon me?
No, you're fine.
Our event will be comprised of a live auction to determine the cost of raffle tickets. These tickets will be used to purchase brand name firearms through an FFL at the event. Guns will include Kimber 45s, Benelli and Remington shotguns, Ruger 22 caliber handguns and rifles, Henry lever actions, and AR-15s. There will also be a silent auction comprised of materials provided to us by local businesses to whom we're very grateful for their generosity. Like I said, 100% of the proceeds will go directly to Camp Hope. We won't even recover any expenses that we ensue. Camp Hope offers retreats for veterans suffering from problems ranging from PTSD to physical disabilities of all kinds from all across the nation. Retreats range from group discussion for mothers who have lost their only child to hunting and outdoor activities for disabled veterans. Right now they're preparing for the upcoming turkey season, which will host 17 veterans and the volunteers necessary to get them to their blinds. By any means necessary, actually. They even have track-driven wheelchairs for these veterans. They've really gone all out at this place. I don't really know what else they can possibly do other than expand farther with the program. But events will continue throughout the year, including their handicap-accessible 3D archery range and handicap-accessible skeet range. Will White is the owner of Camp Hope. His son was killed in action in June of 2006. He tried to make a positive thing out of something so negative as the death of his son for his disabled comrades, and he couldn't. Their progress couldn't be more apparent than on location at Camp Hope. What he's accomplished along with the volunteers over the past 10 years is truly amazing, and you can see it yourself at their open house this weekend. It's Saturday from 11 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock in the evening. Everyone is welcome to come and witness their progress. You'll enjoy live music, barbecue, and a tour of the facility. Please help Celine Lodge number 226 make a meaningful contribution to send a needed and noble cause, or to such a needed and noble cause, Saturday, April 30th, from 4 to 8 p.m. at St. Genevieve Community Center. Chuck Ogan from Air Evac will provide a helicopter for viewing, barring any emergency, and Chris Kurtz will provide military equipment for viewing also. Thank you very much for your time and your attention from all of us at Celine Lodge number 226.
That's great. So that's this
Any questions?
Saturday?
Yeah,
This Saturday?
the open house is. And then,
Open houses.
Yeah, and then our event will be April 30th.
April
From
30th.
4 to
is-
8 at the community center, right in town.
And that's when the auction, silent
Right.
auction, all that is.
Yep, we're gonna have everything, we'll surround the place with objects to be auctioned off in silent auction. And then the whole time they'll be auctioning off the guns that we provided by local gun dealers.
Okay,
Her
so,
husband's favorite guns are Henry's, so we'll get some of those in there too.
Was he talking to me?
he was talking to you, Mary Ann.
She already told me her husband's favorite guns are Henry's, so.
You said something now, the community center, that's the 30th, and that's for what time?
From 4 to 8 p.m.
4 to 8, and this
Right.
other one
Well, the
on
Camp
Saturday.
Hope- Yeah, Camp Hope open house is from 11 to 5, and they'll have live music.
And where is that
Barbecue.
going to be at? I mean, you have a
It's-
definite address for that?
I don't have the address, but it's just south of Farmington, and you can
South.
actually even find it just by looking up Camp Hope in Farmington, Missouri.
Oh,
They'll get
okay.
directions to it and everything right there, but their web address is www.camphope.usa.org, and directions will be on that website, I'm sure.
That's a good.
It's actually easy to find,
Is it?
www.camphope,
.org. CampHopeUSA.org.
oh, USA, okay.
Now, is that a nationwide thing, or is that just, it's nationwide?
Yeah, they'll bring in veterans, I guess, that they can confirm their disability, which isn't very difficult to do generally. And, but they'll bring them in and pay their expenses from all across the country to come here to Farmington, or they have other places, like they just had some turkey hunting over in, or deer hunting, I suppose, in Illinois last fall. So I know they do wild boar hunting in Texas, things like that, but they give these veterans, a week or 2 weeks, whatever, to go out and try to escape the obvious problems they're having. There's a lot of them.
A lot of them have problems.
There really is.
And then they
PTSD
furnish-
thing alone is just outrageous.
And they furnish all the
Everything.
transportation and everything for them?
Yeah, whether they be flown in, driven in, whatever, they get them all here and send them all back.
And that's operated out of Farmington?
Right in Farmington, yeah.
Isn't that
Right
great?
off of Heldebrecht Road there. As you're leaving Farmington going south on 67, it's just about the next road actually after the last exit. You make a right on Heldebrecht, go about 2 or 3 miles, make a left on Pendleton, 2 or 3 miles to a right on Rabier Road, and Rabier Road dead ends right into the place. And you can't miss it. There's cabins all there. It's a ski ranger there. It's a big old place.
Isn't
They
that-
operate on about 2,500 acres actually.
Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
The neighbors were so impressed, they donated 2,250 acres to him.
Wow.
He bought 250 acres, and now he has the right to use their property too. To
Wasn't
give
that
him a total of
wonderful?
25, yeah. I mean,
That's very generous.
some large, I think 2 large companies actually, so it is, but no matter what, it's as far as the eye can see. He said, actually, it's the bridge beyond that when I was over there. So
Oh my
it's big, it's a
gosh.
huge place.
Well, now this guy that owns it, is he a veteran himself?
Mhm. Yeah.
And
He's
it's-
just a regular old, like, well, I went over there and meet him and toured the place before I started this. And he's just a regular old cigar smoking country boy over there working every weekend. He holds down a 40-hour-a-week job and then works in this place every weekend. That's what he does.
Oh,
He's just
my.
determined to make this thing work.
It's
To help
amazing
kids
when
like
vets
this.
can help vets. Like, that's awesome.
It's unreal. I mean, the time he must have in this thing is just crazy.
It is.
Well, that's
That's
wonderful.
wonderful. That sounds so much like the hope that
Yeah.
Houston Myers.
Yeah, it's a
he,
different place for sure.
Yeah.
And I've heard of
Isn't
that
it?
too.
And it's the same.
I think it is for kids though.
It's-
That one's for like.
Right,
little
it
kids.
is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Disabled kids, yeah.
Yeah,
And it's
just for little
basically
kids,
the
yeah.
same thing. They
Except
pay
for
everything.
big kids.
Yeah.
Bigger kids.
Bigger kids.
Our bigger
So
kids,
now
yeah.
it covers all ages, actually. Yeah.
No,
That
we-
is great.
It's just,
How do you advertise to let people know this is available?
I've been taking flyers all around town, and I've got Don Pritchard, there's
Mm-hmm.
telephone, telegraph, and teledon. So I've told Don's telling everybody.
Okay, so this is like our area, or does it go up like St. Louis and
No, well,
beyond
like
to?
the Masons are all, we all stay in our own immediate community.
Oh, okay.
But Farmington, I mean, there's Masonic lodges there's at least 4 or 5 within, 5 or 10 miles of
So all of those are kind of
the
involved.
Farmington area. But this one's coming strictly from Celine Lodge number 226 down here in St. Mary, and it was just an
Oh,
idea I had because I heard about this place. Instead of I kind of got away from all the Wounded Warrior thing because they were having so much
Right.
controversy.
Right.
And rather than be involved in something and take a chance on getting involved with the wrong group of them, and there's way too many of them, another Mason friend of mine told me about Camp Hope, and he couldn't be more dedicated.
Isn't that wonderful?
just imagine if it was your son, you were trying to turn that into something positive, you'd have to have a lot of work involved.
And everybody volunteers.
Everybody
that does
volunteers,
it.
nobody receives a wage. And like, if you call, it's kind of, I mean, I'm sure they'll go over all that for the people that are there, but like the phone number on the back of his pamphlet is the phone number of his son when he
Aw.
passed away. And that's the number you dial to talk to him. But you can only talk to him in the evenings because he still pulls on a 40-hour-a-week chat and he'll call you back. But the other phone number is the number for another Masonic friend's daughter. She takes care of the other calls for him, and
That is so
it's
wonderful.
awesome. It really is a good program. And to be local too, that's the thing. You know, how could something that good be local and not hear about that?
I know.
You have to get the word out.
Isn't that something? You hear everything else. You just things that
That's
aren't
tough,
true.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, they
I
say
just,
the word of
and
mouth
it's
is
right
the
there.
best advertisement.
It
you
is.
know,
I
it
decided
really is.
2016 is the year of positive.
Really?
So yeah, you talk about the positive.
Good
Anything
luck
that's
with that.
negative, you
This is
just let it
election
roll
year.
off.
The positive
Hey,
and
I'm
the pay it
smiling.
forward, I think that's a big,
Yeah,
it
paying it
is.
forward and being
Yeah.
positive,
Hey,
passing on positive
And that is
information.
definitely, oh my gosh. That's just.
Sounds like an amazing program.
I don't really know, you know.
So you're
I'm
gonna
sure
put
he'll come up with
flyers and
something, but,
everything?
oh yeah, I've been taking flyers all over the place.
Okay, all over the place, good. Good, get it out
Unless
there
some
and
here,
advertise
unless some
it.
here, well, next door, when I
At
walked in
City
one
Hall?
place yesterday. yeah. At City Hall. I
At
left
City Hall.
something for them for you guys.
So you met my
Well, if Don's got it on
Yeah,
channel.
He's got it,
on the-
he's got it on the radio.
So you have a website, so if anyone wants to go on and print off a flyer and hang it in their window, they can, right?
He might have some. Do you have some with you?
I didn't bring any with me. I should have, seen I was going to. Oh. What's your, I can even text you a picture of, what's your, do you have an email address?
I do.
Ink pen.
and I also have a friend, Jackie, that works up at Jefferson Barracks and for the VA, and we do, well, I know she does, they do a lot of poker runs and stuff like that for Camp Hope because
Oh, yeah.
I've done it.
This
Oh,
place
you
is
do
big
it
time.
for them?
No, I'm
Isn't
serious.
that great?
This
that
place
it's
is big time. I
expanded
can't
so
believe
far?
it's right there and I never knew this before.
Yeah, we
Really?
have a,
I've
we
never-
What's
have
your
a lot of
website?
motorcyclists
It's
out there that
grass,
do-
period. Emilia, here, I can write it down for you.
Put it all over
And we're on
the world.
TV. You might want to,
Oh, yeah, sorry.
The world. Listen
you
to
can
what's
tell the whole
new.
world your email address.
You know what?
World
I
news,
get,
world news.
I get so many emails from everyone else, you know? But no, that's
like I
definitely
said.
something, because like I said, I'm all about the positive in 2016. This is my no tolerance for year, and I decided in January that this was all going to be about positivity. So if I can go on and print
Cool.
up a flyer and just hang it on the window to promote something else that's happy and good and right with the world, I'm more than
I was
happy to
just
do
telling him, I
so.
was talking to the lady at the Travel Center, and she said there's some kind of event going on this weekend, I think it is, where I need to get it in the windows as a business is going downtown,
The Art Walk?
because.
Art Walk's
yeah,
next
go
Friday.
on,
Next
because-
Next Friday, okay.
Next Friday?
Next
She
Friday
said,
is
I need to
Art
get
Walk,
these things in
and
the windows
there's
so
a
people don't see
rendezvous,
them.
right?
If
It's
people
so cool
will
to see.
come, and
Yeah.
I don't see why they wouldn't, or else lay them right beside their business.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody does, really.
And so how did they hear about it up there?
Well, like I
It's-
said,
it's
that,
been
you
10
know,
years I've been working
word of
on
mouth
that,
is the
so.
best advertisement, and just having a lot of people in the community that's linked to other people that know people and, you know, stuff like that. So it's just a lot of, you know, small communities getting together and
Isn't that, that's so
just
great.
word through the grapevine. Next thing you know, you have hundreds of people that are supporting different,
really
like,
does.
You know, 'cause
yeah,
that's like.
light
There'll be hundreds of
shows,
people there this
poker
weekend.
runs, things like that, that'll,
Positive things attract good people.
and it all goes
It
to,
does.
like you said,
It really
Camp
is.
Hope and the VAs and stuff like that, that, you know, really kind of scratch the backs of the other VAs that are really trying to help everybody else out, so.
And how long has this been going on?
10 years.
10 years.
His
Isn't
son was
that
killed
something
in,
we never
in
heard of?
June
Did you
2006.
10 years, and this
So-
is the first
It's
time
amazing
hearing
what's
about it.
out there that you're just, you
I
know,
don't know exactly
so.
like how long it took him to get going on it, but his son was killed in June 2006, and that's actually on their pamphlet. And I do have their pamphlets too, actually, but I've been putting those out everywhere too.
That is so wonderful.
Oh, that's great. That is really
I mean,
great.
the idea that this guy carries around the phone number of his son, I think that's impressive,
That
seriously.
is.
It's amazing when we tie ourselves to now,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
And it's very peaceful being able to just be able to, you know, help and just, you know what I mean? Even if you're not a big help and just a little bit of help, just knowing that you're some help is,
They have volunteers
thing.
doing, I mean, the live music this weekend, a band from down in Perryville volunteered to do the music, you know, I mean, somebody else, they said there's some place called E's Barbecue.
Oh, Ewald's Barbecue?
He walks in it, he's gonna, it's gonna
That's
be
an
his bar-
old place, isn't
it's
it,
gonna be
Mary?
his barbecue
Evil.
over there.
Oh, my God.
She probably went there when she was young.
Best
I just see the
barbecue in
look of light up on her
world.
face when she said it. She's like, oh my gosh.
She probably went there a long time ago.
She smiled, it must be good
I
barbecue.
know.
60 years.
I'm getting hungry.
Busy day does leave you hungry like that.
You got any more, or is that
No,
covers
nothing I
it
can
pretty
think of
much?
really. I mean, I'm just hoping that it turns out to be a big success over there. I mean, the way it works with Freemasons is that there's like 34,700, I think it is, Freemasons in the state of Missouri.
Oh, my God.
All of us contribute to a fund called the Masonic Home. It used to be used actually for, like retirement care for our Masons and stuff, but really now they've changed that to where whenever we do raise money for an event that they figure is worthy of that, they'll match whatever I can raise. If I can raise $5,000, they may very well match that and let me give them $10,000. If I send them a $5,000 check, they'll actually send me back a $10,000 check to present to Camp Hope.
Isn't that great?
Oh, isn't that great?
It is great, it really is. I mean,
That is.
and everybody that contributes to it, they're all
And
about
look at
it.
all the wonderful people there are, and you hear about all the bad ones.
Yeah.
They are
Like
the
I
ones that make the paper.
Like there's a bunch of them make it right here.
Yeah. You mean in this room?
In this very room.
Yeah, at Tog Court, right?
You want to come back on any time and redo this, too.
Yeah, we'll be glad to have you
Yeah.
every time.
What a great outlet.
Isn't that great? That's wonderful.
We always get Bob back here.
Well, no, I mean, just coming on here and talking about it, you said it's been in function for 10 years. I've never heard of it. You ladies have never heard of it.
But then when I got to asking around, I mean, it's like she has heard of it. I mean,
Yes.
there are people that.
Well, the
for sure
suppression
fall
of
into the
society these days, I mean, everybody wants to kind of stay in their own little bubble and just kind of,
Yeah, but
you
the
know.
reason she heard about it, she was probably on a poker run on her Harley, and most
I-
people think,
They're right.
oh, hiker. Yeah, they're the ones doing the poker runs,
Yeah.
raising the money,
But
so
like I said,
smile.
the stereotypical,
Yeah.
just, the bubbles that everybody stays in. And, I mean, education is the key. I mean, that's a stepping stone of the learning process.
Shared
And being able
knowledge.
to evolve and become a better place and better people. I mean, it's just, the positivity of that, like you said, is just, it's
Good people
amazing
wear
if you
many
can
hats.
actually get people to open and look outside the box and just be able to,
Right.
to recognize other than your normal black and white,
Exactly.
I guess Marion was right. I should bring this up, like, along with the other programs that they have over there, which, I mean, they do have a program for mothers who have lost their only child. I mentioned that. But they also have a program for, everybody's heard the figures about sexual assault in the military on women by our troops. And they have programs over there for that.
It's untalked about a lot. You don't see it until a bad story comes out.
The gal that she called, may recall the other number, actually has taken training to be able to talk to them about that and help them
yeah.
with that case. And they have, I think they can house 12 women at a time that's going to come over there on retreat to try to work their way through that nightmare. And it has to be a nightmare for them.
I have a friend actually that his name is Scott Sutton, and he just opened the Jupiter House in DeSoto because a lot of those VAs also, because they repress to drug and alcoholism and stuff like that, because they don't know how to really deal with the PTSD.
PTSD, yeah.
And they're kind of, working hand in hand as well, with like the veterans and stuff like that, with getting them into rehabs and a place to stay, because, a lot of families don't know how to deal with their stress, let alone how to cope and get them on the learning process of being able to cope and deal with it themselves. So they're kind of, housing them and doing the, rebuilding their lives and things like that. So, I mean, I can, lead you in the direction on that information too, if that would be.
And just being in the military is hard enough without
Right.
that happening to you.
Yeah.
I was
We know
just
what
watching
that's like.
YouTube yesterday, or Facebook yesterday, and when I turned it on, there was one video about the play. And I turned it on, I hit on it, and it was a woman, she was holding up index cards. Did you see that? She's holding up, like,
Was she
prompt
talking
cards.
about her
Talked about her
husband
and it finally ended up
and stepdaughter?
She didn't
Or
know
her-
how to help him. The signs were there with the lack of sleep and all that kind of stuff, and those are all classic signs of PTSD. Like the last few cards were, and then he finally committed suicide, and that's when I found out the difference of all these signs. It was
And
terrible.
unfortunately, and it's so sad that people don't recognize or know how to even start to recognize or see the signs of PTSD, because they just think that, they're being seclusive, they're,
We
trying
live
to
in an
be,
age where everyone needs to be labeled with something.
right.
It
So,
makes a big difference, because my daughter that went to Desert Storm, and was behind the front lines, she didn't come back. Not the girl that went over there. The girl that came back was completely different.
And
Well,
honestly,
the
we-
whole labeling thing, I
It
think
was a shock to
sometimes
her, all that
they
stuff
get
that she
it,
saw.
Sure.
and they try to
what they
steer
don't.
away from it instead of saying, hey,
That's what recruiters
look what
don't do.
each person's been through and do it individually.
And
And
people
honestly,
are
we should all have
ashamed to
the
say
label.
stuff, or, you know, I mean, like,
Well,
people
I
do
mean-
look down on people, but.
The only labels that
they
we should
shouldn't.
have is, okay, we're all human and we're all equal. And we
Right.
should all have
That's
the
right.
equal opportunities and the equal, chances to have, a better life, no matter what your past may be. If you're ready to rebuild, be a, positive influence and incorporate that into futuring and bettering others and helping, you should have that opportunity. And that should be honestly the only label that anybody should have. Because it's
That's
only, only fair.
Figure,
Leave the past in the past.
Right, that's why it's called the past, not a future, so.
the figure that I've heard on television news and the figure from them actually is about 75% of the women that go over there. Which is the figure,
Wow.
are sexually assaulted by our troops.
And that is
Including
such a
commanders.
horrible.
It's terrible.
It has to
And you
be,
know that
it has
they
to be
don't all
hard on the
report it.
men,
They don't all
but
report it.
Yeah, it's
That's just
swept under
not
the rug.
okay.
Yeah,
Well, it's just not right.
and then being unfortunately someone that wants to be the voice for them and speak out for them and this and that, unfortunately you
it's
kind of
tough,
get swept under the rug and shunned and things like that, so you get just as ridiculed for having someone's back and being able to be like, it's not fair, so.
But even that program kind of shows you the diversity that this Will White guy is after. The idea that, he's heard enough about that to know that they want to have a program for that too. They want something there for the mothers who lost their only child. They obviously want everything they can.
it looks like he's
for
trying
the
to help
limbless
everyone.
people, and you can't help but,
Why would you not want to help? Really,
put yourself in his
it's not the
place,
question
and,
of why.
He's really going all
do you?
out. This
Yeah.
guy is something else. Cigars, smoking. He's killing it.
And relax and sit back and relax.
Yeah, that's exactly
And
what
a
they're doing.
big
Actually,
heart.
the day I went over there, that's what he's doing. Sitting
He's
back,
got a
smoking
big
cigar,
heart.
and a huge heart.
He sounds like a guy I'd hang out with.
That's wonderful. That is a great program. Well, I
Yes, it
hope
really
you get
is.
all them flyers. I hope everything gets out right for
I've
us.
been pasting the town with them. We're starting to pick up our,
Good.
That's great.
we're starting to get our, donations now, actually Drury Outdoors was real generous with us again this year. That's a place that, when you do come up with a worthwhile cause, they're big on helping people
Oh,
out.
yes, they are.
We're trying to work on Bloom's Excavation and all the bigger places and see what they can contribute, whether it be money, to help us purchase a gun to auction off or anything else that they can offer, whoever it would be. There's a lot of big companies around that can do it and they can help,
Right.
And they actually are all pretty good about it.
Well, I'm not a big company, but I'd love for you to come by the shop someday because we have all these events in St. John. A
Really?
lot of these have traffic. Maybe you can come by and put some information out. Here, I have several copies of this.
Cool, yeah. That's what I should have had.
But
That was
maybe
the
you
plan
can
when I
come
came
by
down.
and put some information out or be there to talk to people and spread the positive energy of good things going on, of people helping people.
I would have had my flyer, but I was too worried about how to dress.
Oh, goodness.
Your tie looks wonderful.
I should have told
I'll get
you,
it
come
in.
as you are.
Yeah, we're relaxed here.
I was
Very relaxed.
I was gonna wear a polo shirt and a bolo tie. My wife said, "You wear the polo shirt, you can't wear the bolo."
No. That rule was established in like 87. That's not allowed.
I just wear a suit and tie.
Hey, don't judge, each to their
Well,
own.
you
Now, the next time you come back, you can just put on your blue jeans
But
and
you
those.
you do look very nice.
We just
Very
had this
handsome.
conversation earlier. Both of our husbands are working this evening. She's like, what are we gonna do later? I said, go home and put on pajama pants.
I know, and I was just like, well, I do have these comfy Snoopy
Right?
pants that are just calling my
Yeah,
name.
worried about how dressing can be.
Okay, let's go to churches.
Thank you so very much.
Wait and do the history stuff at the end when Becky comes.
Well, we could do that also. Okay, you girls want to do your thing?
Oh, we have a lot to go over.
Okay, introduce
do.
yourself and,
Well, my name's Emilia Grass Whitaker. I bought the old Monia's building, and we put our store that we established in last June of Whatnots and Oddities in there. And this is my friend Mal, and she's got wrangled into coming and helping me this evening because this is a lot of stuff, a lot of things to talk
This is a
about.
woman with a lot on her plate and a lot of projects going on right now, so.
Yeah, we're actually trying to move forward and get some other stuff open here in St. John because I just think downtown's the place to be,
it's getting to really be loaded, and it's great.
isn't it?
Really great. Now we need to just harness all those people and get them back down here.
They're coming. Tourist season's coming, and that's one thing I love about being on the square. Because we started off in a 18 by 22 square foot shop. That's the size of your living room, if not maybe smaller. We moved to the Candle Corner in December, expanded, had hopes of purchasing the building. Come to find out, someone quite famous was interested in purchasing it. They closed on the Candle Corner where the Charles Reinhardt Gallery is now, my neighbors. And we bought the building next door and we closed on the exact same day as them.
Did you
So,
really?
absolutely. My ducks were in a row. I knew I was purchasing a building on the square, just didn't know it was gonna be the one who needed all the work.
And you did a fantastic job
We're
with
still
it.
working on
is
it. We're very
nice.
blessed.
Yes, you are.
It has the possibilities and it's working out very well. As long as someone doesn't mind walking in and I have paint on me one day because I gotta, you know, be the laborer and the owner at the same time, it's all right. So what we have at Whatnots and Oddities is, it's a consignment shop and a gallery. So we have a lot. We have everything from your grandma's jelly to $8,000 oil paintings. So I don't know where you want me to begin, but I'm more than happy to talk about anything we have out here.
Better start naming something.
We started
Yeah, you
with-
can start with a cute.
Well, we could
these
totally
cute
start with
little
this.
guys, yeah.
Aren't those wonderful?
Those are really cute.
Bailey,
And
okay.
guess what? Mary Ann's granddaughter makes them.
And they don't talk and walk?
No,
Well, these hang from your rearview
you could
mirror.
act like they were.
Yeah.
I have called these everything from road warriors to spirit guides because they hang from your rearview mirror and they just kind of bounce around and they're just, they're really
They are,
fun.
they're so cute.
And in her first week, she did really, really well and had 3 custom orders in a week. I mean, someone out there needs these in their life. The little guy there in your hand is a little juggernaut, and he's on his way to Seattle to see my friend Michael. He saw it on Facebook. I put a post on our Facebook page, and he goes, I need one. I just bought a little Beetle car, and he's got to be different. I was like, okay, little clown you get.
Is he gonna get the skeleton head or the?
No, he gets the little juggernaut.
See this
Seeing
one.
on the with itself now.
What do you call him?
He's like a gesture juggernaut type
Oh,
of thing.
okay. He looks
She
like a
made me
skeleton
one
too.
for my purse.
Oh,
Put her
yeah.
on my
So Bailey and her grandmother started a little business and they make beaded jewelry and these guys, and they have little
Going all out with this
purses,
thing earlier.
which I didn't bring. I brought one of everything, I didn't bring one. It's this perfect size purse that fits your Kindle, your tablet, your phone, and your keys.
Yes.
With a long strap, the perfect size, and
Oh,
it
this
fits
is kinda
everything.
I
fancy.
seen those today and I was eyeing those up.
Pretty cool.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm waiting for her to bring one in my
Because I got
color.
the phone and the tablet in one, so I mean, it's a little bit on the bigger side, so I mean, it's perfect.
So we
That's actually
we
pretty
have.
Like one of these in his
Graphics is
truck.
pretty
My
Well,
grandson.
you know where to come get one. It's a great gift, and they're all very affordable. Like everything we have, seriously.
It is.
Linda's Jellies, these are great gifts. She makes 30 to 40 different types of jelly. Everything from pepper jelly to, what is that one, candy apple?
Heads as well.
Yep.
Yeah, caramel apple.
Caramel apple.
It's so good. And she makes some like soda ones, like orange soda and everything. They make great ice cream toppers. So
Yeah.
Linda's another local,
That's
because
the
we have
same
so
look I
much
had.
talent that's just local.
It is. This town is loaded with creative
I know
people.
some of the best people. So she makes a zillion jellies and she makes these wonderful coasters.
Those are so cute.
And
Oh,
they're,
aren't those cute?
right? We have fleur-de-lis, we have cop cars,
I saw
old
that
fire
when I was gonna do
engines,
it with Sharon.
just the funnest
Oh,
little stuff.
that's
Zoo tiger.
How cute is this?
Look at that little one.
I would have brought Elvis, but Elvis is always sold as soon as she
Yeah.
brings it in.
Oh, you're
'Cause,
kidding.
well,
You know, I
Elvis
guess a lot of
coasters.
people really like
Oh,
Elvis.
they still
He's
go
so
for
and
it.
handsome.
Elvis
Yeah,
and
he
Marilyn
is.
Monroe,
Timeless.
Betty Davis, things like that. I mean, they're quick.
So we have all these people with,
Charlie, you can just kind
I
of
am.
zoom in on stuff so everybody can see what all kind of things are
well,
here.
up front with the wooden blocks, it says Cardinals on it. We have a young lady that does woodwork and does hand painting on it. She has a company and she goes to 4 different towns, and we're one of her outlets in St. John. And she brings in new stuff every week, and with all 4 of her kids, just the sweetest lady, and gets a chance to sell her stuff because we're a gallery and consignment shop, because that's how we do it. And then we have a photo there. That's from Rihanna Wolk, the dragonfly. Can you put that up and show the ladies? She is actually our featured artist for this month for our Ladies Night Out Art Walk, which is next Friday. So every art walk, which everyone in St. John should know, 4th Friday out of the month, what is it, 8 months out of the year, we have Art Walk. Pretty simple. You get a $5 ticket, you go around to all the shops, you see whatever their featured artist is, get a chance at a $100 piece of art.
Charlie, Mary Ann will hold them up if you want to zoom in.
So she'll be our featured artist, and each month we try to do something a little different.
That's a bug.
It is. It's a dragonfly. Rihanna has this unique capability of taking the simplest thing out of nature and making it more beautiful just by capturing its moment. So, yeah, I'm very fond of her photography.
I have to come in and talk
I
to
have a
you,
wasp
Dragon.
like that.
because I got some things
A
I need.
wasp on them.
Well, you should come in and see us.
I've been
You
spooned
kidding?
over
Cool.
and paint
Yeah,
on.
it's really
Why would you want
Yeah,
a
that
picture
sounds
of a
neat.
wasp?
Because he was cool and I took it. I said, I have a wasp that's sitting on
I
board
so want to
like
tell
that.
you what we call wasp, but
Maybe you shouldn't.
it's nothing that bad. Yeah, I'll tell you later.
You were gonna say, don't say it.
So each month during Art Walk, I try to do something different. Every place that participates, it's usually 20 to 30 people, has a featured artist. We're trying to make it more of an event with having a book signing each month, which we have booked for the rest of the year, which you'll see right here. All these people who wrote these books, they live within 30 minutes of St. John. Not only do people paint and take photos around here, they write. They have educations.
What's the cover of the top one?
This one here is Sit Down and Shut Up. Went to school with Jennifer Nagger, and this is about her journey to God through the loss of her son. This is a wonderful book, and you will cry.
She's my daughter.
Jennifer Nagger's your daughter? Well, it's very nice to meet you. You have a pretty cool daughter. She was at the shop last month and did a book signing on Good Friday.
Look at that dad, proud dad face he's got going.
Yeah, he does.
She's a Facebook friend, too.
I thought I recognized that thing.
Hey,
That's
I
why
have
you
your
asked
grandson
him.
at my house, then. I have one of her puppies.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I
Graham
have,
dogs.
they had Boxweilers, so I have a big orange moose.
About that.
Yep,
He's
every time we get
beautiful.
out of the car, it's hello boys, and he's the first one to say hello
Yeah.
back, yeah.
They're right.
So that's Jennifer Nagger's book. This is My Life in Rhymes. This is also another local. This is Melissa Kraft. I went to school with her husband, Larry. And this is a book of poetry.
Whose is that one?
Melissa Kraft.
I need to shut up and
Book about
listen.
the loss of. That's a book about the loss of my first grandson from Down syndrome.
And you will cry. I mean, the book is just, well, it's written woman to woman. This is,
I don't think I could read this one.
you can't read it without chocolate and tissue.
I
Seriously.
lost a
Maybe a
son, I
sign of
don't
Ben and
think I could
Jerry's too.
handle that. I can't
My
handle it
husband
yet.
and I had a loss very late in pregnancy, and it made me look at it a little bit different. So I'm a better person for reading it, but I can't say when I talk to someone about it that I don't tear up a little,
Yeah.
because it's written from the heart.
I truly can't talk about it.
They're so cute.
So these are written by Tara, and I'm gonna butcher her last name. Do you want to pronounce this? Mossinghoff?
Oh, that's easy, yeah.
Well, first I gotta be able to
Say.
see it. I'm
She
a,
sounds like me with names.
But
No,
she
me.
has, I want to say she has 3 books out and a 4th one coming out, and she'll be having a pre-sale.
So
So
about pregnancy, huh?
Tara Lynn will be at the shop this month doing a book signing. So she is our book signing for this month.
Now, is this Mary Wadlow's daughter?
I didn't get the family tree, I know.
I think it is. I think
yeah, we
it's
left the
Mary
DNA
Wadlow's.
samples, I think, at the.
Yeah, I'm bad
at the
about
shop.
that. Because I certainly didn't recognize Jenny's dad. I'm gonna have to get on her for not sending a picture. And then we have the Magic Candle, Robin Nagger.
And that is so good. That is very, very good.
That's cool.
I love that story.
Actually, I've got a granddaughter coming right now, too. Not from Jim. Over up.
Do you see the cover on this? Do you see this? This is hot.
I was gonna say, how do we not?
So this is one of Rosemary's books, and
I really
she
wouldn't
writes really steamy stuff.
See, now that I've seen this cover, I'm gonna be at the shop going, well, Amelia, I'll be back in just a little bit, and kind of sneak off, but.
And this one here is Jeremiah. Jeremiah will be here during Fringe Festival. Not only is Jeremiah coming during Fringe Festival to do a book signing, he does all the Comic-Cons. He is Barnhart famous. He's from Barnhart, so within my 45 minutes, because I still consider that local. He is bringing some of his Comic-Con friends and people that he goes and travels around with. Do you know Jeremiah?
No, I know Comic-Con. My sons go.
So
And
he,
They didn't
Eva,
go when his daughter was born. He said he was not a good father because he didn't take her to Comic-Con when she was born.
well, you know, it's frowned upon. I guess he'll be in Cape next weekend, huh?
No,
Cape has
it's-
Comic-Con this next weekend.
heck is-
He is bringing Eva with him, and she does chainmail. Chainmail jewelry, anything chainmail. Which, if you've never tried to put a new hoop on a broken bracelet or anything, that takes patience and talent. So I'm excited to have her there doing a demonstration. I think that'll be interesting to see.
I think you ought to ask Mary Ann to come model that.
I'm thinking we could hook you up. I'd be more than happy to design something really fun.
Thanks, Bob.
You're welcome.
So some of the other things we have coming up is, I talked about what we have coming up for our April Art Walk, and that's on the 22nd. May 14th and 15th during Garden Walk. I don't have a gardener at the shop, and I was like, how can I make sure to get people towards the square, because all the good gardens are down on North Main. Well, we decided to, where's the Be Well cream? Do we have that?
Yes, right here.
Oh, yay. So Be Well cream is made locally. Amanda Hutchinson and her partner is actually a master gardener. This cream is made from bee venom. So when you go for bee therapy, they take bees and they kill bees and sting you for bee therapy, and it's good for the
that's
gout. It's
right,
good
yeah.
for,
Yeah, I've heard
Well,
It
that.
doesn't it
says
build
it's
up the
good
immune
for
system as
pain
well?
associated with arthritis, gout, tendonitis,
Don't it build up the immune system and like
Yeah.
that
Well,
as
they
well
darn.
as?
it helps with your immune system. There's all kinds of uses for it. So what they've done, what you see in his hand there, is actually a machine that they're able to collect bee venom without harming bees. So it's bee conservation. So they will be coming during the garden walk, Amanda and her partner, who's a master gardener, to talk about bee conservation in our 1,000 square foot patio area that we haven't got to make use of yet. So we're kind of excited about
It's
that.
going hand in hand with that. Is that-
Nope, that's
No,
something
okay.
totally different that's also good for you. Yeah.
I was
know
hoping
we got
you'd
a
bring
lot
that.
You know, if I could have figured out how to get that
Was
spinner up here.
That's the most beautiful thing.
I think
Well,
she had a hard
talking
time just
about
figuring out how
Bonnie,
to get
let's-
it from outside to back inside this evening through
I
the
take
door.
that
She's
in
like-
every evening, and once in a while it and I get into a fight.
Is that made out of metal?
Yeah, I'm going to talk to you about Bonnie. Bonnie is, she's a metal artist. She designs all this wonderful stuff, and they're able to cut it out on a laser, but she draws all this up. She designs it all. And if you've come by the shop, you'll see this big giant rose bush.
Oh, I'm in
Wonderful.
love with that thing.
They're modeled after this, so they have the singular ones, so we can all take part of that home.
Oh, hummingbird.
Yeah, beautiful.
And we have lots and lots of different designs. Right now, we're featuring her Native American collection with the teepees and the Indians and horses. They're powder coated. So if you want to hang this out on your porch, it's not going to rust.
It'll last forever.
It'll last forever. And that's the great thing about these flowers. I wish I could have brought the rose bush, but it takes 3 grown men to move it.
Yeah.
And I think we got
Really
enough
big.
I
time.
walked in and that was probably honestly the first piece
Is that
that
all
I seen
laser
when I
cut?
walked through the door, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm in love with it. Now watch this, it's got kind of a little bit of
Yeah.
Is it all laser
a
cut
pointy
now?
end.
Yeah, yeah. But the roses and the bush, and we also have a small basket with different types of flower in it. That's all hand done.
Beautiful.
And they're very durable.
But that is a great present for Mother's Day because
It is.
you don't have to like steal it out of her yard and paint it next year. It's not going to rust.
The laser cutting on that's really impressive.
That is neat.
Ooh, watch it, it's got a sharp.
Yeah, they got
It's
sharp-
heavy.
It's got
And-
sharp
Sharp
thorns.
edges.
Yeah.
Don't
yeah.
poke anybody,
Oh, don't put your eye out.
especially me.
And keep talking about what a small world it is. The man who is the sales representative or the go-between
Impressive.
for her company and everything, I went to school with his daughter.
Oh
Just
my
talking about what a small world it is. I mean, it's amazing. We live in a really small, big town.
You have to be careful what you say about anybody because you're gonna step on somebody's
Well, I grew up
feet.
in Bloomsdale, and I left for 20-something years, and I moved back in 2012. My advice to my daughter and my husband were, never frown at anyone. It's your third cousin at least.
Yeah.
So that's what we go by.
You grew up in Bloomsdale?
Yes, I did.
I lived there for 30 years.
Yeah, you probably know my parents.
Right behind Bloomsdale Excavation.
Okay, well, I guess I better not call him by his nickname. You know Paul Grass?
Go on, call him by his nickname.
Grandma, I'm sorry. No.
grandmother's
Paul Grass is my father. Isn't he a wonderful guy?
Sure.
He's pretty cool.
And Donna Grass is your mother.
She is.
Donna,
You gotta remind
Donna,
me.
Donna Rose.
Yeah.
Donna Rose, yeah.
Donna Rose.
Yep. So what else do we have?
Oh my goodness, look.
I know, we have so much, but we have so many people. Let's just go down the table here.
Yeah.
Let's put the
Lori
numbers.
Braun does wonderful quilting, so we have all kinds of quilting and everything, because this is the answer to the sock monkey. This is, I mean, it's so cute.
Yeah, it
Who
is.
doesn't love a
That's
monkey?
darling.
I don't know if
I think he's in on us.
Oh, that may help.
There you go. Don't mind my sloppy notes as we rush through the day today.
My daughter-in-law should put down her list for her baby shower this weekend.
And the prices on it for it being a quilt is $60. That's unheard of for a baby quilt. I don't know if the last time you went shopping for a baby shower gift, I mean,
Boy, that one with jewelry
That is
brings back
beautiful.
memories.
Beautiful.
oh, yeah.
When we were in Girl Scouts, we had to make a Christmas tree out of old jewelry.
Don't we have something else in Melodies as well?
If anybody has any questions out there in the viewing audience, it's 883-7675. You can call in.
So this is made by Melody. Melody doesn't live down here, but she has family down here and comes down here often.
We made a Christmas tree.
Oh, where's the
Girl
butterfly?
Scouts out
I
of it.
bet
Right
that
here.
was-
Yep.
That's
It
what I'm
was,
making
it
now.
was
so
beautiful.
I'm making a Christmas.
So how fun is it to take your aunt's old jewelry or jewelry you get at an auction or something and do something like this? She makes so much fun stuff. It's just sparkly and shiny.
Oh, my Lord.
I'm working on a Christmas tree. I
Oh,
bought a
that would be
silhouette
really
of
neat.
a tree and I'm putting green and I'm doing
Look how that
all
shows up on
jewelry.
TV. That's
Oh,
really
broken
yeah.
necklaces.
Oh,
and
there's the
pins
TV.
and-
totally gorgeous.
Just noticed that. Oh, wait.
Totally gorgeous.
That's beautiful.
And here's a butterfly,
Sparkly and shiny.
sparkly and shiny.
Go for it, Charles.
Okay, I bet you know who made this.
Mickey Kitty?
Yay,
No.
you win. No, yes,
Did I?
yeah. Mickey has
is
some
an
of her
all-around
scarves in the
person.
shop. Will
Yeah.
you hand me the plaque?
Mickey came and showed us how she does all this stuff.
So
How
you got
many
the
of you
cheat
made,
sheet
girls?
firsthand then?
She showed us
I
how.
started one, but I never finished it. This is pretty colors. I like this.
So
It is.
Mickey's talented, but so is Jack. A clock plate.
Oh, isn't that cool?
That, well, when you have a set of plates that you like and you break 2 or 3,
Is that out of
that's a plate.
Melmean,
Melmac.
Melamine or Melamac, one or the other. Isn't that cute? I used to make clock plates all the time when years ago.
He has one that he makes,
In the
every time he
80s.
makes it, it sells. He makes the record ones, and
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my lands.
Yeah.
they're so cute.
They are. That's very pretty. Charlie, you got a job tonight.
You zoom in of a star.
So I'm just gonna grab what's next to me here. So when I say we have a little bit of everything, and that's why we name the shop Whatnots and Oddities and not Socks, it's because we have a little bit of everything. We have a sari from India. And one thing these things are going great for, and I find a lot of people love these, this is 14 foot of material here.
You want me to go ahead and?
All beaded, yeah, you can go and hand that to the ladies.
Beautiful.
wear
Does she hand bead that?
Yeah,
Does she?
yeah, these come from India.
Oh,
We
they
have
come from
about
India,
14 of
okay.
them. People are buying these and using them as tablecloths.
Oh, really?
I was thinking that.
When you come in the shop, you will
Yeah.
see we have a table
Boy, you're
and
a
a buffet
fancy
from the World's
swimmer.
Fair in there, and we have it dressed right now
Is she a
from,
fancy swimmer?
Mine's not
She uses
14
this.
foot long, or 14 yard, what is it?
it's 14 foot, 14 yards, I'm sorry.
Yards? Mm-hmm. Yards?
Yards.
Y-A-R-D-S?
fabric?
Yes,
14 yards?
14 yards.
That's a lot.
Hell, I can make a dress out of
But that's
I
what
wouldn't
it
say
is.
it's silk, but it
That's
feels
what
different than
it
any
is.
silk that we
That's
can
what you
go
do.
to
You
Joann's
you
and buy.
put
I mean,
this
it's
around
totally
you,
a different
and then
quality.
you pull it up and
Well,
pull it
that
back
silk
there.
isn't always silk at Joann's anyway.
It's
Right?
not a bib, Mary Ann.
And my husband would probably use it at the towel and be like,
You know, I think we could wrap you up in there and
I know.
get it going.
well, wasn't we just talking about the modeling thing earlier? That-
Yeah, come down to the shop. We're gonna hook you up with some of the chainmail. We'll get
Backwards.
a sari on you. I might have to adjust the top a little.
I'm trying to get the beads out.
A little.
Well, we can drape that around her. She doesn't even know what's
She's
going on over here.
That's a good color for you too.
Isn't that a fun
Now
color?
Mary Ann is all wrapped up in silk.
So we have, oh, this is a fun thing.
And they probably make a diamond on
I
it.
know some people in town that love having chickens. Aren't these adorable? These
Oh,
sketches.
aren't they cute?
So this artwork is done by Karen Crow. Karen Crow grew up in a farming community, and her favorite subjects are drawing life, which, I mean, a chicken, that's totally part of our life. I mean, chicken's alive and
Eat 'em
I
all
eat
the
eggs
time.
every day.
Veronica Murray.
Oh, yeah. Where are they?
Now, what am I gonna do with this, Ari?
I have no idea, Mary Ann.
Get
That's your
14
problem.
yards of it, go for it.
First, you gotta figure out how to get out of that.
Yeah, we're all wrapped up here in a minute.
Okay, I'm just gonna send things this way. So another thing that we have are oils. It's okay, don't worry about it. We have oils and sea scrubs. Everyone's into oils nowadays. There's an oil for everything. Everyone's telling you to try it. You have to buy 10 different types to try it.
Yes.
No, you can come by the shop, get a roller ball. They're already mixed up for you. If you have allergies or a stomach ache or something like that, come grab one, try it. Then if you want to go out and buy all the oils and do your thing and it works for you, because those oils are, it's quite an
Yeah,
investment.
peppermint
It's too much
oil.
investment.
It is, it gets expensive, but if you can do it
I'm
where
looking
it's
at
already
the one
made.
that's the tummy one. I think it probably has the peppermint because I know that does a lot of good for like nausea and stuff like that. As far as
For what?
for nausea and just upset stomach and stuff like that, I know peppermint's a good.
I need allergies.
Look how nice he's pulling that
Well, there's
in.
one in there
Good
for
job,
headaches
Charlie.
and things like that too.
That's why, and I've had some and now I don't have any, so I gotta go over to someplace and get me some local.
Rosemary's got it.
Okay, so,
Rosemary Douglas.
talking about events.
Really?
May, we have another art walk in May. I figured I'd just cover everything that we got planned. Sure. So Christy Parks will be there with her books. If you have not picked up a Christy Parks novel, you're crazy. They're 99 cents on Amazon, they're great. She'll be there doing her book signing in May, and this is when we have the car show and all the fun stuff. Her husband does pinstriping. They were down a month before last, and he goes, do you have a board or something I could work on? I was like, I'm sure we have something laying around downstairs. This is a door off Bob Monia's old little cashier's thing. So we picked up out of the basement, and he sat there in about 40 minutes and
Sure tell that was used a lot.
painted it all freehand like a brain surgeon. It was very fun to just sit and watch him just peacefully and gracefully do this. So how appropriate is it that he comes back during the car show, and hopefully we can get him to, he said he's coming to do a demo. I'm trying to figure out what I have at home that could do pinstriping, and I don't know if he'll do it on heels, but I'm thinking it'd look really cool if he
That
would.
would,
I
wouldn't it?
figured you would say something about your heels or your nails, one of the two.
Yeah,
Well, your nails wouldn't show off as much as your heels.
yeah, I'm thinking if I get a pair of white heels, maybe I can, I don't know, we'll see.
That's cool.
Well, I do know a
He'll
lot
do
of
it
people
on
that
cars
do-
too, right?
Yeah, but I don't have a car I can fit in the shop. Yeah, that's a little heavy.
I know. And
Anybody want to get your car pinstripe, bring it by.
Right? Right?
I know of people that had.
Oh,
the
motorcycle, yeah, on boats.
Well, I could things down that way.
Oh, no.
Do we have a photo from Gary Adams. If anyone's on Facebook locally, they've seen Gary Adams' photography.
I'm gonna move this just a little bit
Okay.
so that we can hold that up. Yeah.
So if you come by the shop, he has a
He's
full
not getting
collection here. This is
right
on
there.
canvas, so if you just touch it by the edges and not the front, that'd be cool. But he has a way of capturing
You lost the
things
tag. There's just a tag.
Oh, thank you so much.
Isn't that beautiful? Looks like the moon, is it?
I couldn't tell you if that's the sun or the moon, but that's something shiny.
It's like maybe one of the
Dirt, and there's
spaceship.
trees back in there.
Oh,
So that's just the one I grabbed. I can't tell you how many beautiful ones he has. It was hard to pick.
The moon coming through the trees on the.
Yeah, that, I just
there's
like this,
trees
I
in
like
the
how the
background.
soil looks right there. That
It
just,
just looks so peaceful. It's very calming.
It's not
You know, it's
gravel
just
road.
kind of like,
yeah, I went to take my shoes off and walk down that road.
I agree, let's go.
So,
That shows up really well on television, too.
Yeah, that does.
Did you hear that,
Charlie's
Charles?
doing a good job.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he's doing a darn good job.
okay, so the next item we have,
I'm still smelling
get
one
over here.
earlier today.
okay, you have to smell this one. And I tell people this, and this is why we're sold out of this at the shop besides the demo. This is what a good-looking man smells like. I know that sounds ridiculous.
And I'm gonna say beware, because she is very close and personal with these soaps.
I touched her on the nose earlier. She's
She's
feeling
like, "Here,
something.
I don't
smell
want no
this,"
good
and
at smelling
So I
man.
was smelling,
So these are made by a company called Arcadia Valley. She has a business down in Arcadia.
Is
And
that the soap lady?
now the soap lady is Linda. Linda sells the laundry soaps and everything that you can pick up at the shop as well.
Don't smell too close, it'll
This is
burn
what
you.
you use when you,
I just brought a couple
not
of them.
sure about
We have
that.
4 different types of lye soap that she has. That's the little bits. That's the very mild one.
this is what David needs. Garage shop.
and this is the one that I got up close and personal with today, and it smells great. Because I'm still smelling it, I'm just like,
This is orange
I
peel
don't know
and
what that
coffee.
smells like.
Now, this does smell better
That one,
than
this one smells
man's
good.
What's this
thing.
supposed to be?
You know, I kind of like the
Lye
man one.
soap.
Just
she's
like,
like, who needs a good
Well,
looking
it's
man
got
when you got a
tar.
fragrance?
little
on
bits
this
of
side?
tar, fine tar.
Yeah, this one
No, I
smells
don't like
good.
that one.
Bell's naphtha.
When you're out in
Back in
poison
the days.
ivy,
Remember that?
it's when you
They
use
still
lye
use that when
soap.
they use the homemade, you know, when people make
Yeah.
their homemade soaps.
You know, instead of
that's not
buying the
bad.
Fells
Hurts
Napa
my
and making
ears.
homemade soap anymore, I'd rather just use this because there's 3 different types of the lye soap that she actually makes
No, this one's-
that we
it
carry in the
does.
shop.
I
And you
like
can
that
slice it off and use it in your laundry, which is really nice.
That is the only thing that used to take grease. They were, had the auto parts store, and you get grease on it, and that's the only thing that would remove it.
What's
It's
that?
lye soap.
You're kidding.
So you were talking about my mom, since you know who my mother is.
Yes,
Is my mom not one of the craftiest people?
yes.
So, having 4 granddaughters and a grandson, she's had to endure all kinds of children's movies. My mother crafted some magic wands for us.
Oh, that sounds just like
And I tell you what, what's
something
funny
Yes.
is my daughter's really big into Harry Potter, and I just had to order a bunch of stuff for her birthday, and I know I spent a good $50 or $60 on just a Harry Potter wand.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
Her to
that's
put
a
on a
Harry-
shelf
And you could have had
somewhere.
this one for 8.
I know, and that's what's,
And these, I
that
know,
would have been
it's a
good 2
knitting
months
one.
ago if I would have known about it, but.
Those bookmarks,
no one's gonna know what these are
Yeah.
because no one reads real books anymore,
they're
right?
bookmarks.
These are bookmarks because we sell
I
real
read
books.
real books.
I know.
All the time.
Oh,
Lordy.
smelling, you know what I mean? Rather than
Granny's
having
making
that little-
magic wand.
Oh, these are
You're
pretty.
gonna love that.
My kids have them.
Those are pretty.
Those are pretty. Yeah, I know your
Just waiting
mom
for the knives.
and your aunts and your uncles. Your Uncle Dick and I work
Oh,
together.
I'm so sorry.
I know.
You're in so much trouble.
So the next person I want to talk about is Becky. Becky's gonna be coming, I want to
She's sitting right
She's
say.
sitting right there.
That's the
Oh,
wrong
Becky.
Becky, huh?
Yeah, but I could totally see Becky doing this.
Maybe.
Yeah. So this is Becky Lazaroff. Becky Lazaroff has all kinds of pottery, some of it glazed, some of it unglazed, different sizes, some of it very contemporary. Some you look at and you could ask 10 people and they're all gonna see something different in it. And I love it.
And it's all hand.
It's all
All
handmade. She has a piece there that she made while she was watching some of the anger and hate unfold on TV last year when St. Louis had all of its
Oh,
drama.
yeah.
And you can look at the piece and just tell it's sad and angry. So that one there is happy and makes me smile,
I
so
like
that's
that
why it
one.
came with us this evening.
My son made me, Joanne Roth taught over at Valley, and she would do clay and stuff, and he made me a cup. The only, for Mother's Day, the only trouble with the cup was it had 4 sides to it, pointed sides, and you couldn't drink it.
Well, speaking of cups, one of the things
Washing machine.
we have-
Dishwasher.
You can drink out of that one.
Yeah, you can.
well, Becky, before I move on, Becky was actually going to be down here, and I don't know if she's coming during Fringe Festival or not. She's going to be bringing her traveling kiln
Oh.
and her friend with her, so you'll be able to come and make something, and we'll be able to bake it, and you can pick it up in a couple of days.
Oh,
Oh,
And
cool.
we're hoping to get her to come down and do a class,
Yeah.
because,
That would be fun.
wouldn't it? And I'd like her to do a children's class as well. I'm working on her.
Kids like that too.
And she's all for it. She's like, she lives 20 minutes from here.
that's one of the most relaxing things you
It
can
is.
do.
There's no wrong, there's no right.
No.
And it's a lot of.
Unless you're making a coffee cup.
therapy
Yeah.
For like,
Right.
children with autism and stuff like that, it's very, you know.
Right.
it's good
Very
therapy.
therapeutic.
Yeah.
So one of the other fun things we carry are mugs and wine glasses. I didn't bring one of the wine glasses, but everyone needs fun little coffee mugs. We have coffee mugs. I brought one that says that I love my St. Louis baseball. But most of our coffee mugs have insults on them because no one's nice in the morning before coffee if they're normal. But I didn't bring any of those because it's a family-friendly show.
And I was gonna bring my wine glass, but
And when I say
have
they
to
have
go read
insults on them, they say, well, the mild one says, fill me up and go away. But they have some very different things on.
and then from the teenage aspect, I hate adults is another.
No, it says
one.
it doesn't, it says I hate adulthood.
Oh, there you go. There,
And that's
I
actually my
apologize.
cup.
Oh,
I hate adults.
Yeah. Someone asked me, like, what's your favorite thing about, what do you miss most from childhood? I was like, not paying health insurance? I don't know, the list is so long.
yeah, take for a little bit.
Yeah, 25. Okay.
24, you say?
Number 27, I don't want to say her name
Right
wrong.
here?
What's the company?
Debbie Huber. Candles. Do you know how many people come in our shop looking for candles because Candle Corner is shut?
Yes.
Right.
And everyone talks about Carol's Home Again. That was everyone's favorite fragrance. Even when we had the Candle Corner location, everyone would come in asking about it. Sadly, it no longer is made. So we were very happy when Debbie came in and said, I have candles. Like, we can point someone in the direction of candles.
And thank you for reminding me, because I still think I have one of her little votive candles that I got from like almost 2 years ago that's still sitting in a bag with all my other stuff, so I'm gonna have to bust that out now that
Yeah,
she's
Yeah, that's gardenia.
Yep.
That's gardenia.
Oh, here you go.
A lot of
Here
smells
you
going
go.
through here.
I knew I seen it.
The black wax.
It's
I
gardenia.
hate adulthood.
That's my coffee mug right there. The black glass right there. in front of you. Block.
Oh, there's a black glass, and I was
baby
like,
Oh, I'm sorry.
that.
So this just comes with some of the oddities that we have. It lights up.
You
It's
can
black
plug it up
glass.
over there.
Ashley made that, huh?
Yes, she did. See, someone's been in the shop.
I've got a Christmas box like that.
She makes some really cute stuff. I've seen the snowman with the, it has a smaller head on top where it lights up.
Yeah.
I just
don't
love
thi-
that. I
I don't
put that
know
out
if the
every
camera
year.
goes over that way or not.
That means you had a good childhood.
So when I said we're well-rounded, Jerry Klein has some of his stuff in there.
Oh, okay.
And anyone who knows Jerry, he has a little bit of everything in his life. He had the sports memorabilia store.
Right.
So we have some of that down there. And then we have some of the, I had to pick something pretty. I wasn't bringing the footballs and stuff. How cute is this?
That is darling.
Mary
That is
O
beautiful.
collects
Right, saucers and cups.
saucers and cups.
I just never seen one with the pedestal
I mean,
saucer
neither.
before.
That's the first time I've saw
Isn't
one like
that
that.
beautiful?
That is beautiful.
Very fun. What do we have down there we haven't talked about yet?
The hot and cold
Nice.
packs.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, because we love our DIY ladies.
Yes, we do.
That's one thing we have a lot in town. You know, we have artists, but we have people say, oh, I'm not crafty or I'm not artsy. But I bet you know how to fix something. We live in a community where everyone has worked with their
doesn't make
parents, their
that.
grandparents, and knows how to do different things.
Collector.
He just came up with it, yeah.
Oh, he's a collector.
Yeah, he collects all
So
that stuff.
this is a bag. Did you drink it or make it?
No, I'm being Gracie right now, okay?
So this is a hot and cold pack.
Is that something you'd have
This
to
is
have
made with
insured?
rice.
Oh, okay.
Everyone knows how, everyone in our town knows how to make or do something. And this is the cutest
cool.
way to do it. So this is my get well gift
That's
when,
that. wrap thing. huh?
When someone gets ill, they can expect one of those in a coffee mug, and that's my get well package from the shop.
Well, that's.
Those are great. If you don't have one of those,
I'm not feeling very well.
Yeah, my friends used to make those. They used corn.
I want to say that's rice from the feel of it.
Yeah, but she used corn.
And those are fabulous, and it only takes
You
what,
have to
like
get a
10 or
certain
30
kind of
seconds in
corn
the
so it don't
microwave, and you
pop
have
when you put it in the
a
microwave.
heat pack for
Oh, that'd
a
be
half hour.
awful.
Corn doesn't pop?
Well, you have to get a certain kind so it don't.
Oh, I was gonna say.
Hey, that's a double
But I don't
dip.
remember
I
what
was
it
gonna
was.
say, healing and,
Is that what it is?
edible.
Be my good.
So this is
Is
one
it
of
called
Danielle's
crack corn or
paintings.
something like that?
Danielle believes in doing happy art.
I don't know, yeah, I guess craft iron wouldn't either.
Geneva did
I
one
think
like
that's
Isn't
what
that
she said,
fun?
but I'm
Looks
not.
like a rainbow.
She must have took a class from somebody.
Who
like
did that?
This is Danielle. Danielle lives in Farmington, and she has happy paintings in the shop. It's
Happy painting.
it's happy. You gotta smile.
Just look at that guys out there. Look how pretty. You guys ought to be calling in and commenting.
So since we're, I keep jumping off and talking about functions we have coming up and events, one of the things that we have going for this month's Art Walk, we're doing, we have Rihanna Wook, as I said. We have Marty, who runs the local tattoo shop. He's going to come in and do some sketches and maybe some artwork. So that should be interesting, something different, because there's talent behind that, whether you have a tattoo or not. There's talent behind that. I don't have an ink addiction, but it's in my
It's
phone.
therapy. We're not calling it an
What's the number of
addiction,
Marty's
it's
shop?
therapy.
It's in my phone, which I turned off because
therapy
we're
laying
on
there
TV,
getting
but
hurt.
it's called Tattoo Ink. It's on Highway 61.
The what dot two?
Tattoo Ink. He's on Facebook. His name's Marty Petty.
He's across from the,
He's in the old Dairy Queen.
He's in the old Dairy Queen. That's right, across from Rhodes.
Right next to
If you're older, if you're younger, you don't know where the Dairy Queen was at.
I know.
It's not the first one.
So one of the things we have going is we are featuring African art. So we have a whole bunch of items that were made in Ghana.
If you're older, what do you got? Older than what?
Well, apparently older than me or
don't know
younger than me
right?
because I remember it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Geisler's owned it? No, they own Tasty Freeze.
Tasty Freeze was awesome too,
Yeah.
man.
Who owned the Dairy Queen?
Kay Stiegel.
Kay Stiegel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Stiegel's owned it.
So this is one of the larger pieces that will be there. And I have some photos of some of the
Is
stuff.
he getting you? Oh, he is.
Can you play it?
Absolutely.
Absolutely,
Me,
and
myself,
not,
I can't, but you did
Sure you
fabulous.
can. Just come in your head and beat to the beat.
don't show them all, just pick through and like look through those so you see what we have coming up. I don't know if it will be here in time for this month's Art Walk, but we have made a great connection with some our new Native American friends. We'll be having a teepee set up in the back part of our patio, and hopefully during Fringe Festival, we're talking to people so we can put it on public property, so it's not hidden behind the shop. Because yeah, it's great for you to come to the shop to see it, but it's more about us having one of our free events in St. John, and people having to stop their car because their kid says, "Mom, look, a teepee."
You have this with you?
So,
Yeah, the elephant, this one right here, we
What, the
actually
knives?
have out in the van, which I'm gonna run out and grab that.
those things are adorable.
They are, they're
Are you on lots?
precious.
What is it? Oh,
They're beaded
They're
elephants. They're from India.
actually carved out of solid pieces of wood. They're much heavier than what you would think. And this drum, for it being, I'm not sure, I wish I had the bio on it. This is extremely light for it being carved out of whatever it's carved out of, which I feel bad for not knowing. But
Yeah.
it's really neat. I swear I don't play it very often at the store. I might be on.
My guess is also would is that
and they
like,
carry that on their shoulders?
Well, I've seen the little ones, the smaller ones are about this high, and they just strap them on like their purses. So,
Yeah, I noticed there was a strap on there.
yeah, I mean, it would get heavy carrying it for a while. But
Here comes the monkey.
show me one of your cool knives.
And most of these pieces will be available for the show at the end of the month, will be available for purchase. Like the little elephant that you saw, the family together is a different price, but I want to say singularly, they run about $80, which is not bad for what I've seen them going at other places with the markups and stuff they put on them.
that's different.
We have the mask at the store right now. Those are amazing. There's 100 little nails in that tin on there making the faces. To say, hey, we have African art in our shop down there, and it traveled across an ocean to be here for you to come see it. Is quite nice. I think it's just helping us be more well-rounded. So next to the jelly and the quilts and all the goodies,
There's a
we
couple
have
more drums.
some great stuff.
What are those?
I don't know.
Here's our little
Are
elephant.
these bugs?
No, those are masks. That's a family. There's
Oh,
a
there's
mother, a
still-
father, and
oh,
2
okay.
children. One thing you'll notice about most of the facial masks that are made in Ghana and other areas around there, they come in a family. There's always a mother and a father, and usually 1 to 3 children.
Oh my goodness.
Look at this elephant.
So the beading on the elephant is actually dyed with minerals and fruit, and then they go through a glazing process. So if you're interested in seeing any of these things, come out to the art walk. It's next Friday evening,
Oh, now
It's
he's
got some
back on
weight
me.
behind it.
and that's just carved out of a solid piece of wood. So I think that's really,
Isn't that interesting?
that's one of those things that you're gonna get.
Yeah,
and
he's got the elephant on now.
What are the hours Friday evening?
For, yeah, it's on there. Over there on the short
Is it
piece up there where it
5 to-
says Friday
5
Art
to
Walk.
9 or something like that?
This one should be interesting, and I'm really looking forward to our one in May.
That is gorgeous.
I like
I'll have my
this.
son talk to you.
Yeah,
He's
that's pretty.
like a
That is
critique welder,
beautiful.
MIG welding, TIG welding, that kind of stuff.
Oh,
I mean,
fun.
like Invisible welds, I can hook up with you and see what kind of stuff you actually have welded. On that,
Well, the only metal art that we have is Bonnie's items. So one thing we do try to do is we don't have 50 people doing the same thing.
Right.
That's why I brought the variation in, because people are like, oh, you have the consignment store. You're probably thinking, oh, you got 75 plates and 6 women doing the same thing. No, we don't. We really, really don't.
Oh, that's heavier than you think it is.
So this is one of our items, which,
Functions beautiful and builds muscle.
Isn't this gorgeous?
he's heavy, he's heavy.
Yeah.
So another one of our items, when getting back to the consignment end of what we have a young lady who does all these fun wooden signs, and she uses vinyl lettering. And we have a different lady who does the wood, and she does hand painting. So it's the same, but different. So that's one of the important things. You don't
like
want
the same
10 people doing the same thing.
Right.
But these are great family rules. If you didn't ever have any family rules growing up, these are the ones to have.
your good childhood's showing through again.
I was gonna say, I think kids need rules these
good.
days.
Rules are important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Later on, they turn into laws.
Right? And then you find yourself in this room for court and not coming on to talk about all the fun stuff in St. John. Yeah, well,
Down there and then.
so Gary Borisall had a wonderful shop here in town called the Spirit House, and he sells beer making kits and wine making kits. Well, sometimes things happen in life where you gotta rearrange stuff. Gary still makes wine and beer. He has a huge display case at our shop. You can buy your yeast and your preservatives for all of your home brewing needs. Easy for me to say. He will actually be there in May as well to do a tasting. So that should be interesting. But this here is a sample of what you should be getting your dad for Father's Day.
Let's see how I did.
If he's into this type of thing. The Mr. Beer Kit, it's what you start off brewing. So it's just one of show that how diversified everything we have down there. You cannot say you cannot go shopping in St. John for a birthday present.
What you say with this is,
I feel like we should be doing a commercial right now.
buy this one, and then he doesn't have to go to the bar.
Oh,
Drink at home.
well, I hear a lot of men come in and a lot of women. They come in and they'll ask questions about the beer, and I tell them, I'm like, I only know what they tell me. I'm allergic to beer, I don't drink beer. But the wine kits are great.
His wine and beer were always good.
And that's why I honestly, not because she's one of my best friends, but not being biased, but,
Yeah.
but that she personally, I mean, she really is the one-stop shop of being able to just go in and be able to get
We have
anything
so many
for
great.
anyone.
That's cute.
Isn't this? So we have, let's see if I can get it on there.
I know, I had the same thing earlier happen.
Okay, so imagine this candle right here. There we go. Just shove it on there with authority. So we have a new, her name is Nobi, and she is new to our shop. She does pallet designs. So everything she has in the shop is made out of recycled pallets, which anyone who's familiar with any of the artwork that I do, everything I do is out of a dumpster or upcycled. Like all my
Your
paintings I
bench.
do on,
Your bench out in front is,
those are actually made out of pallets from the Herald
Yeah.
next door. I went and knocked on the door. I said, Toby, got some pallets out here. He said, you can have them. So we made a bench so we could sit out front.
And I used it
My
today, it
grandson
was
does
fabulous.
that. He took pallets this year and
that's
he
neat with
made
the fleur de
Isn't
lis.
that nice?
a Christmas tree and he made a flag and he made pumpkins and he's making them and
I think
puts
it's
them
just a
in the
nice way of
yard sales.
upcycling and taking stuff that would normally be sitting around and turning it into something useful and fun. So we're very happy to have her, and all of her stuff is very clean cut, not like my bench outside, because that was just seriously, we need a bench, you know.
Got a pad on it, so no splinters.
I don't know if you.
That would have been a good idea. Maybe I should find someone who knows how to sew.
I just, you were talking about her using pallets. Well, my granddaughter, her husband took pallets and he put it on one whole side of the wall from the floor up to the
Oh,
ceiling.
wow. Give it a
And he's
farm
got-
look.
He has got a television on this side, mounted on those pallets,
Mm-hmm.
and he's got all the family pictures over there. It is just as neat as it can be. And it looks just great in that room.
Maybe he needs to come visit my living room. So jumping back and forth from our events and things we have planned to the people we have with consignments in there and items we have, I'm trying to do fun and new things. You get on Facebook and you'll see St. John doesn't have this, St. John doesn't have that. St. John's working on it, so pay attention to what's going on. We have plenty, that list right there. I know there's over 30 free activities people can go and participate in.
You need it?
No.
Sure.
I'm just saying it exists. You just have to look for it. So one of the things we're
Or listen
doing,
to what's new. We tell them every other week what all's going on.
and my grandma watches this. Hi, Grandma.
There's actually some kind of hubbub right now about that Green Tree Tavern over there, you know. It was the first Masonic meeting place west of the Mississippi River.
Right.
And they're talking about people trying to get together and buy that from Mr. Goldman because it
Oh,
Where was this
really?
at?
Really?
Wouldn't that be
It's just
cool?
on the other side of the viaduct here on Main
Right.
Street when you come through.
It
Yeah,
used
off
to
of
be the
Main.
real pretty house that they took all the siding off of, where,
It's one of the vertical timber buildings. It's like the
Oh.
vertical timber building when you.
So when you go under the viaduct,
Just
To
When
your
you
left,
before
and
you-
it's right on the
Yeah.
right-hand side, you can't miss it.
If you're going out of town.
okay, so it's on the little part next to where the little duck run's gone.
you know, Green
Okay.
Tree
Yeah, it's
Tavern.
right across
There's a monument right there marking that as the first Masonic meeting place west of the Mississippi River, period, bar none. It was actually Louisiana when they purchased.
Well, shouldn't it just be gifted back to you?
This guy over here knows history.
But they actually,
He fills
I
us
had
in.
never seen it cited. I didn't know that he took all that much stuff off there, but he's got it actually original.
For some reason, I know I want to talk about this, talking about
Gosh, dang it.
the things we have planned. We're doing a photo contest. No, we're not like important, rich, famous. We're not Walmart or Kmart. We're Whatnots and Oddities. We live down the road. I stay a mile up the street. You probably know my dog's name. We're doing a photo contest. We're going to have 2 winners. We're going to have a youth group, 16 and under, and adult, 17 and above. It's simple. Your picture will be in the paper. Our youth will win a cash prize. And our adult will win a photo outing with Larry Braun, who, if you're on Facebook and you're not familiar with who Larry Braun Photography is, you're not following us, and he's really wonderful.
It is, he's
So
very
he's
good.
going to be judging it, and you'll actually become a member of a photography group with him. You'll get to go on an outing
Isn't it beautiful?
and hunt down photos, because
He does a lot of good.
you're a photographer. It's like hunting, from what I see. So if you're interested in becoming a contestant, it's simple. You can drop off 3 photos. Come get a form. That's it. It's fun. I'd like to do more things that involve the community with things like this. So, just something real simple.
All 3 of us could do it,
buildings
couldn't
in
we?
them, you know, all the
I know,
time.
you know, that's what's the neat part about it is we have all these
I
pictures.
don't
Oh,
know if
you're
I
not
should.
gonna
That's
slice
perfect right there. I
anybody.
love that.
Oh, it hasn't gotten that serious here tonight.
You go out to.
Well, you're happy this
Like
year, I
those
forgot.
pictures right
Yes.
She had her coffee in her mug this morning, so we're
That
good.
will?
That's what I said, you're
Just a
not
Mary
gonna
Ann.
slice anyway.
There you go, honey. Don't run with it.
That's it. Where's my
Like sword in the stone. I definitely.
So,
These pocket knife out.
No, he's gonna take a picture of it.
because, you know, sharp objects.
Unless she's like,
Well, here, go ahead and put this one in the other hand. If we're gonna get a
my
picture
God.
of her, if we could screenshot that, that's a Christmas card right there, buddy.
Oh, I should have the camera tonight.
Almost got my chin.
You know what's gonna happen? This is gonna show up in places that I can get.
It's gonna be in that
You ladies
photo
are rowdy. I
contest.
didn't even know.
It's heavy.
about a wrapper or
That's heavy for a little one.
Yeah, you should have had the sari on.
Oh, no,
So here's the leather sheaths. So these are Damask blades,
This is
and
Damascus
because
steel.
yes, sir,
Are these handmade also?
these are made, and I'm sure you've had him on here. Tom Hopper
Oh,
from the Pewter Shop, him and Pat, they make these wonderful items. They have a jewelry case, or a case full of these wonderful items over there in my shop. So anytime someone looks at them, we've sold a few knives for them. I make sure to tell them, don't forget to go around the corner and see my friends. You know, so I think this is a great way of getting people to go around the corner and
Right.
send people shop to shop.
Should've done that.
When I see someone looking at something in the shop and they set it down and they're getting ready to walk out the door,
So now
we
see
make
how
sure
much
to
it is.
tell them where they can go and find another item if they were interested in it.
I'm good at that, telling
This was
people
lighter
where
than
to
the
go.
other.
Oh, wow. High five there, honey. I'm pretty good too.
well, that's what
Yes.
Oh.
See if I can make some more room.
This is actually.
Well, you have more sharp objects coming your way. There's. So
There's no price
these,
tag on that one.
it's on that.
it's on our inventory list. One
Oh,
thing
and
that
it's
we
not-
make sure to do with each person that comes in, they sign their contract, and then we do an inventory list. Each item in our store has a number on the back. So even if the price tag falls off it, we can tell whose thing it is and everything else. So having 44 people in the shop, you know,
Really?
if you didn't
Good
have
job.
your system down, it can get quite confusing.
Yeah.
I believe
And-
we have another knife that's about the same size range
That
as the
perpendicular
smaller one.
Damascus is
And I
very
believe
like
it's
that.
starting at what, $80 or something along
Yeah, the
those
knives that I've
lines?
seen in there go from 75 and the
steel
swords
almost
like
always has the
300, I
same
believe.
length as
308,
the blade,
Yeah.
the same
Is it what on the back of that case? Yeah.
But I've seen swords like that for
Those are all
$1,200.
pieces that
Oh,
are
yeah.
Hammer forged together.
Not that everyone needs a sword in their life, but they probably should want, please. Now, the next item that I brought to talk about, who has, do you have your list?
Gee,
I don't want to say it wrong.
Number?
Our number 12. So these are items that you guys probably see all the time in jewelry shops everywhere. Here's the difference between seeing these online and coming and getting them.
Thing is Damascus, look at that.
Dawn?
The whole thing.
Dawn Scott, right?
One piece of Damascus.
Yeah, Dawn Scott. These are all hand stamped.
I like that.
These are not some kind of watered down version of jewelry from Japan or China or wherever it comes from when it's made in mass quantities without a face. Dawn Scott makes these. She sits in her house, she stamps these out. These are made with love from a real person. And I think that matters.
Put this up on your price list. I'm his kind of guy,
You're the knife type of guy? Okay.
for sure.
What else do we
I
have
can
left? I
identify
think
what that
we're
is.
almost done. Do you have Elaine? So Elaine Bagwell, when's Elaine coming down? Elaine's kind of awesome. This is one of the sweetest painters I've ever met in my life, Elaine Bagwell.
That's pretty. Very pretty.
I am proud and honored to call her a friend. She will actually be down here, I want to say, where's my other list? In June. June, she'll be the featured artist and be down here. And I'm talking with her, and I'd like to do, you know, I had mentioned that we have this 1,000 square foot patio area. We just put some tables out there, some stuff we're upcycling. Love for you to come by and see it. Hoping to do one of those, what do they call it? Sip and
Paint
paint
nights.
evenings?
Paint night.
I'm pretty sure I could get a few people together
Oh, I bet.
that enjoy wine and like to paint and you know, it is.
Ours, there you go, you and Mary
There's
Ann.
All this
There's a Kelsey
peace,
wolf.
love, dove, you're turning into a hippie.
Yes.
I get up with a whole few.
There's nothing wrong with that. We're all about spreading the love and,
Yep.
Anything left on the table we didn't talk about?
This
I
world
believe
now,
we've
too
covered
much paper.
everything.
Isn't that peaceful?
It is.
Virginia in my mind, or Virginia.
Yeah.
And, yeah,
I don't have any other stuff.
I know, I think.
The only thing I see that you didn't have up here is that brown bowl, but the same girl made that as the other one. I mean,
As
gray
the
bowl.
clay,
Cool, isn't
The
it?
clay bowl.
or the clay.
Oh, yeah,
The same girl made it.
That got a picture similar to that this fellow took.
Was that the same girl?
And now, feel how heavy that one is. Isn't it amazing that, I mean,
I love
Painting
it.
it for him.
the weight difference and everything that comes with it?
Go to the scenic look at it,
This
we'll
is,
do
I made one time and a lady bought it.
Yeah, this is
Oh,
Danielle's
it's not
one.
for sale, and she
I live right
said,
here.
but I want it.
So I brought this just because I think it's cute. This is also Danielle. I call this Fat Purple Bird.
And it's that big.
And he's adorable. It's, you know, it's,
Beautiful, man.
he makes me smile. I decided to bring you happy.
That purple bird.
Really great.
Fat Purple Bird.
Now, that's hippie.
He's adorable. One thing I didn't do this evening is bring any of my paintings.
I was
or-
gonna say, where's yours?
I didn't bring any.
She does
even
really
have it on the
cool
list. Don't worry
abstract.
about me, I got me, and I'm like, okay, then I will put you on the list to make sure we have it.
Well, here's the thing. Everything I paint is pretty much recycled. Like my featured items that you saw last month, I made the frames. I took canvas that was discarded. I cut it into strips, and I weaved my own canvas, and I painted on it. It's a painting. Don't ask me to pick out a painting of my own that I like and bring to you. I can't do it, and I failed, so therefore I brought you 40 other items.
The other scarf there, is that
Oh,
the
yeah,
same?
can you give me
Is
those
that
as well?
Vicky's or, no? And that's,
So this is just one of the awesome things we have. If you need a scarf in town, we probably have 30 different types of scarves, $5 a piece. If you have a gift bag you're putting together for someone and you can't figure out what to throw in there, or if your daughter's getting ready for prom and she needs a wrap and you don't want her to borrow yours because she knows she's gonna lose it. If your sister-in-law's birthday and you wanna come and pick up a candle or something, we have gifts.
Well, and I
But
seen
those are
today,
nice and long and a nice quality.
it is, very nice.
Like these
You know,
kind of
honestly, when I seen those.
I feel like she's going to wrap this around her, and I don't know what other prop to give her.
You're right. Oh, that matches your shirt beautifully.
But they're a nice length, which usually with scarves, you always get, you get the hair
short
length,
or
or they're
too
too
long,
short.
yeah.
So, yeah, I've
I
never
like
had a
those
problem
long
getting one
ones
that's
that
too
go
long.
all
I
the way
like,
down.
I like this one,
This is
Yeah.
with the fringe on it, like
Yeah, I
when
do.
you're in
You know, that would be
evening wear.
a good packing and stuff.
Oh,
Tissue
is that
paper for your gift.
Yes, it
Kinda
would.
Shove that in the bag too.
Yeah,
What's the phone number of your shop?
that would be my cell phone. 573
Okay,
535.
not over the world.
My phone number is on Facebook.
Cool.
If anyone wants to call me, they can.
Mine is two all
9791.
the time.
Yeah, I learned to turn it off at 11 o'clock.
9791,
9791.
got it.
That's-
9791.
He's gonna be calling 20 people before he gets to
Hey.
you.
And you know what? Here's the chances.
I just went through that
One of them has my
the other
number.
Somebody probably has your number.
There's a good chance.
Okay, are we ready to go to church?
Sure do.
Okay, let's do the soldiers first, and then we'll go
I
to,
think we can maybe save the church for another night.
okay,
Oh.
whatever. If we,
So, ready, set, go?
ready, set, go.
Okay, well, I actually am not sure why I am representing the École du Soldat, but I'm very happy to do that.
Tell them your name.
My name is Becky Millinger. And I was invited to speak at the École du Soldat, which in French means the School of the Soldier, and they come every year, and they have, I was looking, they're going to be here on the 23rd and the 24th, so I can make the art walk. I was looking at that. And it's actually presented by the Milice of De Sainte Famille in the city of St. Genevieve, so.
Well, actually, Cahokia.
Of
That's
Cahokia.
Holy Family of Cahokia.
Oh, okay. And they're going to have a really fun weekend. They're going to have a public auction on Saturday, but Saturday morning I'm speaking. I know Bob is speaking on Sunday. Charles Bellisi, you all know him. He's a longtime friend of St. Genevieve, and I have, I don't know if you want to hold these things up so Charlie can see the camera, but he has a book called French
Charlie probably zoomed
In
in
the
on
time
your
of-
party.
whatever. It's It's the second page. Yeah, there you go. That's Charles Bellisi. And he's a really cool guy. He's going to come and talk on Saturday. Now that you've taken my cheat sheet, I can't tell you who else is going to speak. I'm going to be talking about the Antoine O'Neill House. I mean, I'm a broken record about the Antoine O'Neill House, but
And here's Becky in her beautiful dress that she makes by hand.
Back to you in order, how about that?
no, that's okay.
So is that a chemise?
No, it's just it's a chemise, and then I have a little outside stay on top of it, and an apron and a skirt that I
You know,
made.
I'm begging Mickey to get some lessons on how to make some appropriate.
Well, Becky Moonahan actually had a class that we had to make some French clothing. It's really easy, and I don't know if we'll be offering another one. I've had too much on my plate, but it's not that hard.
Well, I am a seamstress. I have Let Me Dress You Up, and I do sew. But when I say appropriate, if you saw me at the King's Ball, I like to take something and put an avant-garde, use the wrong material, make it sparkly, shiny, totally
Nobody
inappropriate to the... No, they don't care. I had a friend who wanted to go so bad. He said, I don't have anything to wear. He actually showed up as Doctor Who. When you show up as a time traveler to the King's Ball and everyone laughs and smiles, it's good.
Perfect.
Nowadays, when you start talking inappropriate, you don't know what I mean.
Appropriate
Like I said, it's all about how you're wired.
There are some people who are very hardwired that if you have the wrong
Kiddo.
fabric, because I
Oh,
was
yes.
asking her about the silk, if it's real silk, and there are people who really get upset if you have inappropriate things, but I couldn't care
This
less.
is a really good opportunity to see how probably pre-1763 people dressed, both men and women. These people have been doing reenacting for years. This is their 29th School of the
Should be
Soldier.
talking about those.
And they have camps set up. You can see what they're,
Are you part of the militia?
I'm part of the St. Genevieve Militia,
the
not
Saint-
the Holy Family.
Right,
Wow.
right.
But you're actually a historian in the area?
A little local, yeah.
Yes,
Right, that's cool.
and he covers a wide range of things. The German, we just had a talk last week in
So you got
genealogy
to know
here.
about the Green Tree Tech.
Yeah,
Very cool.
yeah.
He's trying to sell it. That's cool. Love it.
Bob's going to be speaking on Sunday about colonial gardening and agriculture in the mid-Mississippi Valley, and that'll be interesting.
Is
So-
that a tie-in to the new city project with the garden?
No, it's just, it's a historic, they try to give talks on the history of this area before we became Missouri.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And
French.
pre-colonial stuff, and
Louisiana Purchase.
even the French went beyond that time period, but, and the School of the Soldier means that it's truly a school, and a lot of these guys were, a militia is a citizen soldier. We had very few real soldiers here. They had some French Marines at Fort Deschartres until 1763, then we had Spanish soldiers here until about 1800. And I think we had 8 soldiers in St. Genevieve, so most of the defense of the town was done by citizen soldiers, and that's what a milice or militia is. And they went, this is their 29th Akoldo Sada, and so they bring in speakers, and Becky and I are some local speakers this year, to talk about that. It's free, open to the public. On Saturday morning, it's at the speakers are at the Welcome Center. You can also go down and view the camp. Some of our local militia guys will be down there doing kids' games and what life was like and that sort of thing. And
Firing the guns.
well, they bring cannons and they fire their flintlocks, and it's
That
a
sounds fabulous.
I know, right? I'm thinking,
And
when
it-
can we get to watch the
I'm
show?
like, let's bust the kids away from their Game Boys, PlayStations, and Xbox.
You
and
should.
Get them
You
out
should.
You
there
should, because
and
they'll learn a lot.
Educate
On
them.
Saturday,
I
they're
love it.
having an auction, which I have never been
Oh,
to,
it's
but they
cool.
tell me that it's the
Yeah.
neatest thing.
It's how they pay for this event every year, and they have a lot of people that donate goods. Some of them are colonial reenacting goods. I usually donate like 2 quarts of pecans that go
Yeah.
for good money, and that's how it's kind of an event. They have 3 auctioneers that are very funny, and it's a good.
So what time is this?
That's from 2 to 4 on Saturday.
I see.
And then on Sunday morning, they have 2 speakers. There's another one that's going to talk about the first 100 years of Cahokia, which was the first French town in the mid-Mississippi Valley, 1699. And so he's going to talk about that time period, and then I'll do my colonial gardening and agriculture.
It'll be a great
Can you speak Saturday morning, you say?
Saturday morning. I don't know if you're familiar, but the house that's next to the Presbyterian church on Main Street is a building that was built around 1820. It's an Anglo-American style house, which is different than the French style, because the French Creole style was a style that when the French were here, but as Missouri was becoming a state and people were moving westward, they moved away from that and they wanted to have this American, Anglo-American style house, so it's very specific. It is not a French vertical log, which a lot of people think it is. So the man who built that was a silversmith who had a long career that began, the first thing that I can find him actually began in Detroit with John Askin. If you guys don't know your history, it's really fun to learn about the people that were involved in making this country what it was before it became America. But John Askin was a British subject who had been given a license with the Iroquois Indians to trade for peltries, because they realized in Europe people were wearing the felt stovepipe hats and things like that. They made that from beaver fur. There was actually an art that went back into China where they knew how to make felt out of beaver skin and fur, and there's a whole process to it. But Antoine O'Neill was somebody who was involved in the fur trade, and he made silver ornaments that the Indians wore. They were traded for these pelts. And he then was in Vincennes, Indiana, and then he was here in St. Genevieve, and he died here. He's actually buried in the Historic Memorial Cemetery. So his life, and I've been researching him for about 5 years, and I just keep adding to my knowledge base about him. So I'm going to be talking not so much about that house, even though we're in a capital fund campaign right now to restore that house, but just to talk about why he was so important to St. Genevieve's history. Because at the time when Louis Bolduc was big on Main Street, and Jean-Baptiste Ballet was, they actually, Pierre Menard, who was the governor of Illinois, but later he was involved with the fur trade as well. And so there's a whole big story wrapped in, and that house is more important than just being a house. It has more of the history, because he was like a banker of sorts. If people wanted, he had coins, he made a lot of his silver out of coins. So if somebody came and they wanted to have jewelry or whatever, they obviously were wealthy. The poor people didn't come and have him make ladles for their house, but Louis Bolduc certainly did, and Pierre Menard certainly did. And so he was a real integral part of the society when he was here about 1817 to 1825. He wasn't here very long, but he was a pretty important guy. And for him to have a house that's still standing in this time frame, it's the only house that we know of in town that was built by an artisan and a craftsman, and he's considered in the top 17 silversmiths of his era, which was the early 1800s. So he was a pretty important guy.
Becky's discovered that we have great architecture here and great houses, but we have even more great stories about people that were here. It's just amazing.
I love the characters of St. Gen, and that's what,
they are.
you hear
They're
a lot of the same names.
Yeah, it's just a
Anytime
wonderful place.
yeah.
I mean, our records go back 1750, 1760.
Exactly.
and-
That's
So
amazing.
The records are amazing.
And we have art
Everybody's
down
got
at
the characters.
Damage is down at James Valley House. And we get people in there, they go to the visitor center first, and they send them over to us. And they are from everywhere, and they're always coming to see St. Genevieve. They saw advertisement somewhere, or a friend told them, or they saw, like last week, there was a couple there that had seen a video, and it's probably the one that's on there now.
Yeah.
Were
And
they from Scotland? Because we had a couple in the store.
We had Scotland, we had Illinois, we had the day I worked, St. Louis, O'Fallon, Chester, or not Chester, up above Chester. I can't remember. Up above Chester, a couple came in. There was one more place. But anyway, they're just kind of like from everywhere. Germany, France, Italy. I mean, we've had them from everywhere. It's amazing the people that come tour.
We probably have the best collection of French colonial houses left in the United States. 3 of the 5 remaining post-in-the-ground houses that are left, and some very unique architecture. But again, most people feel that Missouri history began with Louisiana Purchase in 1804, and since the French lost the French and Indian War, we don't talk about them, but they are the ones that started Missouri. And A lot of the people that were involved in statehood were from here. Some of the early senators were from here. Missouri's first U.S. representative is buried in our cemetery up here, John Scott. And just wonderful, wonderful stories.
Well, we
And-
were kind of in the center though, weren't we? Because St. Charles.
Well, there were 5
down.
districts. There was New Madrid, Cape Girardeau, St. Genevieve, St. Louis, and St. Charles. And that went even after the...
But St. Charles is even older than St. Louis, isn't it?
No.
Oh, it's not?
It was
Oh, I
first
thought
to
it
us
was.
and then
St.
St. Louis and
Louis,
then
yeah.
New Madrid, I believe. But, I mean, it bring kids down, they really enjoy, these people cook there, their food.
That's that whole thing of having the tents and everything out and seeing the
Right.
men in the uniforms.
Right.
Mom, stop. I love that they have that place over there. There's so much openness right there when you go over the Gabourey. That's where you guys are going to be set
Right.
up?
That's where the camp will be, and then about 8:30 in the morning on Saturday and Sunday, they kind of march up to the Welcome Center for the talks, and then they come back and sometimes they'll fire a cannon at noon and then start their auctions a little bit later. But and I find reenactors always will talk. They're about as bad as genealogists.
Oh,
I bet.
yeah.
You
Well,
know,
it's like,
yeah.
get me started.
Yeah.
And then, exactly, well, and that's, like with the Antoine O'Neill thing, I think that we add to our knowledge base all the time because Bob and I are always looking at the records online. That's what we did our little talk over the weekend about the genealogy and the different records that are available. And I was telling, I guess I was telling you Sunday that the Catholic records for this area, the Archdiocese of St. Louis, hold the records, but they go back into the like 1740s,
No,
and they're
well-
actual records that you can,
Well, our church records started about 1759, but you can get into the Kaskaskia
Yeah, the
records, which go
Kaskaskia.
back even.
So when you say like church records, do you mean like baptisms and marriages and deaths?
And deaths.
Okay.
Yeah, but there are other things too, though, because there are some legal disputes, especially in Kaskaskia. They didn't have a government like we have, where there's a court system. It was with like the militia, where people kind of ruled each other. There were people that elected, and so some of that is documented. It's amazing. I found out one of my families that I wouldn't. If you had asked me, did my family have slaves, I would have said never. But then they weren't black slaves, they were Indian and French slaves in Kaskaskia. And so to read some of that history is just fascinating for me. I mean, that's what, or at least it's what I love. Maybe some people aren't interested in it, but so those records, the more you delve into them, the more you find out. And St. Genevieve was a pretty important place. That's why I kept saying when we were looking at the house, we did a historic structures report of the O'Neill house, and every day I was down there with these experts, I would keep asking, why was Antoine O'Neill here? Why would he come here from Quebec? And, the fur trade, he had a connection with Pierre Menard. And
It wasn't a woman? Because men will travel for women, I'm just
No,
saying.
We were told had a problem.
actually, he got in trouble with a woman here in town, but we won't talk about that.
Oh, sorry.
We don't want to
That's not part of the public record that
No,
you
that is,
research
we do,
later on.
one
No,
of our
it is.
guys does a lecture, what the tour guides don't tell you, which is
Yeah.
about some of those other stories.
Like behind the scenes. huh?
I'm sorry?
You ever look into the historical area of Kaufman?
Of
In that
Kaufman?
area?
It's very difficult because that was settled by mostly by Americans from Tennessee and Kentucky. And there's no extant newspapers from that time period, so you don't see a lot. And if the churches don't have church records,
You might want to hook up with Jimmy Boyd.
well,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay, might as well.
there is some, but I hate doing genealogy from 1820 to 1850 on Americans. It's just extremely difficult.
Joel said out at Charlottesville, back in their ground, there's a lot of foundations where it looks like a community was back in
Yeah,
there.
well, there's several. We have, there's a graduate student at Wazoo put together a whole list of place names in St. Genevieve. There's a place that I've never found called Skaterville.
Oh, my God.
Little Alsace, just names that have been there in history and gone away.
Isn't that something?
And if there isn't any kind of a newspaper or something to record it, or a legal, like court or something, because almost everything was out of the St. Genevieve court and the St. Genevieve church, so there wouldn't necessarily be a
Now, what
record of
did,
it.
what did they call Little Rock up there, where the White Houses and, where all that stuff, the buildings that were up there?
Well, there was the Wilders had a big house up there right against the bluff, and,
That's that big white one,
Mhm.
that was kind of
I
by the
think-
river?
yeah.
And then there were two more back in there on that
well, there
picture
was,
Sunday?
when I was a kid, there was the round table was, where they had the trains turn around.
Yeah, and then there was also, when I first moved here, and we used to go up there all the time, because Dad bought goat's milk from one of the people that lived up against the bluff down there. There was a house sitting back there, but in the 50s maybe, or 40s, it caught fire.
Yeah,
Probably the 50s it
yeah, I
caught
think I
fire
got
and
that
burned down.
someplace. Yeah.
But I remember that house up there. But was that a town, or was that
Well,
just part of St. Genevieve?
Well, and during the Depression, it was like a Hooverville up there.
Like a what?
Hooverville, in, little clumps. There was a government quarry just north of there. My great-grandfather leased that land to the government.
That's where all the kids went swimming at?
Yeah, and there was a big structure where they housed the workers
Oh, my.
up there.
When you say the train turn, is this down by where the ferry is?
Yes.
Okay, because that's where they parked the old cabooses.
Well,
And you
and
weren't
the-
supposed to walk past there I may or may not have walked past there, but there's like the place you jump off.
Not admitting to
Up there, yeah.
anything, but I might have.
Hypothetically, or maybe sometime in the
They
dream.
called it the quarry.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
swimming.
okay.
Wow.
But
The
when you
quarry.
said where the trains turn around, I don't remember any trains turning around anywhere.
From 1904
They
to
used that.
1961, they had a boat that carried train cars across the
Oh,
river.
that's cool.
And they would, I think the last one carried 21 cars, and they had a trestle that went down into the water to the boat. And they would pull the cars down there, and then they'd have to turn the engine around, so they'd go up to the roundhouse, and they'd put it on a track that would, the big thing would turn, so they could make the train go the other way. And I think the last run was in 61.
Something
I was
like
gonna say,
that.
because I came in 60 and it was still here in 60, because I remember taking the kids down to see it.
Yeah.
It was still here in 60 when I moved
Yeah.
over.
That would have been really neat to see.
And there's
was
only, there's a
amazing.
few remnants of some of the poles they had in the water.
Some of the tracks is buried when the river got
Is that
down low, you
what
could see it.
you see when the water goes down and
Right.
recedes and
It's
everyone
kinda
takes
out
a
this
photo
way.
of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of
Okay.
out that way, yeah.
Yeah, that's really neat
My
to see.
grandson's got a photo of the tracks going down in the,
Yeah, there's a number of postcards and things like that you can find.
but I remember that when I
Yeah.
moved over in 60, because we used to watch the trains do that.
Yeah.
That was a neat.
Yeah, there's a few of those that were on the Mississippi River, I think. There were two other ones, but it was used for a long time here.
Whatever happened to
There's actually one there on Hall
to the actual boat?
Trying to remember if they took it someplace and dismantled it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, well, it's almost 8:45.
But you didn't talk about the church.
I'll come back some other time, because I was going to talk about all the churches.
Oh, good, good.
Okay, the sale is at what time? 3?
The
Two.
sale starts
Two.
at 2 o'clock, and it's at the Jour de Fête site, which
Right.
is down on South Gabourey. And then the talks are at the Welcome Center.
At
So
8,
Start
8:30?
at
About 9.
9:15, 9-ish, 9:15.
And then your event is the 30th,
Yes, ma'am.
and you guys are open all the time from 10 till 5?
No, actually, we're getting ready to set up tourist hours because
are
the
you?
weather's breaking.
Okay.
But my hours right now, Mondays are iffy, Tuesdays we're closed, Wednesday 11 to 4, Sunday 11 to 4, 10 to 5 all the other time. But if you
you
check
open
the
tomorrow?
door, if it's open, come in, we're there working upstairs, we're working on something.
Okay.
But yeah, we
Will
have
they open tomorrow
posted
morning?
hours.
I'd like to come by.
And just
We'll be
holler-
open at 10 a.m.
Just holler, I'm stealing everything in here.
No, just leave your money on the counter and figure out the tax. No. We're there working on something. We have so many, we're trying to keep the building from falling in on itself. There's still lots to do.
Oh,
So,
I bet.
Yeah.
yeah. Thank you so much for having
Well,
us. This
thank
is a
you
great
guys for
outlet.
coming, this was a
Way to
great
get
show.
your information out. Yeah, I like that. It's a good time.
Okay, now we're gonna rally up everybody to help us get everything back in the boxes and load it back in the van.
Okay.
Because I tell you what, it's all hauled
So
in
good
now.
night, everyone, thanks for watching us, and
Yes.
we will see you at the end of the month.
Yes, thank you and good night.
Good night.
Good night.
I feel like I'm supposed to say, what